Peacock fans, to another episode of Peacocks on the Prowl. I'm Jim Lowry, and sitting next to me today is Head Coach Tom Shea of the football team. Coach, nice to have you here.
Pleasure.
All right, so you guys went up to North Dakota this weekend to take on University of Mary. How'd the game go, Coach?
Well, I tell you what, we started a little slow. Defense picked it up in the middle of the first quarter and played very, very well. Just about the entire ball game. Offense started a little sluggish, and about halfway through the second quarter, we caught fire, scored 21 in the first half, and went on to 1 point to have a 31-0 lead. And overall, kids played very well. We had some mishaps with special teams that kind of got us out of sync, and we lost a little bit of momentum. And but I tell you what, they picked it up and finished the game strong, and it was good to come away with a win, driving that far.
Speaking of your 21 points in the first half, Coach, your passing game was outstanding this weekend. Your quarterback, Dimitri, threw for over 400 yards. Can you kind of tell us about his play?
Well, no, he's getting better week in and week out. He's got to learn to read a little bit better. Once he does that and start reading his keys a little bit better, his game's just going to keep improving and stuff. But it's just experience and time and practice and patience. And he's a good leader. He takes the kids down the field, and he finds the open receivers. So they did a good job for us.
And speaking of open receivers, Jarrod Edmonds got open a few times this weekend, 3 touchdown receptions. Can you kind of tell us about him?
Well, I tell you what, Jarrod transferred in from UNI. He's a Cedar Rapids Prairie grad, and he had a great game. He had a couple circus catches, 1.5 catches in the ball game, and he makes him look easy. But he's a good player, solid player, a good practice player, just a good team player all the way through.
All right, Coach, you've got University of Minnesota Crookston coming in this weekend. What are you looking for in that match?
Well, I tell you what, Crookston is a young team, but they've played very, very well at times. They played the University of Sioux Falls. It's one of the top teams in the nation, and they played. That was a head-to-head ball game. It was 21-28 at half, and they played strong and they're physical, and they're a program like we were about 3 years ago. With young kids just trying to get better and find their niche, and they're going to be a handful.
All right. Well, that's all we have with Coach Tom Shea today, Peacock fans. But stay right there. We have Dimitri and Jarrod Edmonds coming up next. And we're back, Peacock fans. Sitting next to me now is starting quarterback Dimitri. Dimitri, nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
All right, you had a great game this past weekend, over 400 yards passing. Why don't you tell us about it?
Throwing the ball, we did a great job. Offensive line protected me very well. Obviously, throwing for 400 yards, that's not only a credit to myself, but that's a credit to the offensive line protecting me and doing what I have to do. Throwing the ball, connected with Jarrod, connected with Trey, a couple other receivers, Cameron, Jalen, just distributing the ball well. Being able to get the ball into the playmakers' hands, giving the athletes a chance, and they rewarded us, our team, really with 400 yards passing plus. So a couple touchdowns also helps out the case.
Speaking of touchdowns and spreading out the ball, you found Jarrod Edmonds a lot in the back of the end zone, 3 times, I believe, out of your 4 passing touchdowns. Can you kind of talk about just, what you were seeing when you were throwing the ball?
Well, we actually had a one-on-one matchup pretty much the whole game. They didn't play a safety over the top, so we just kind of took advantage of our height, our athleticism. I actually took a couple shots at Trey, but we weren't able to connect. But toward the end of the second quarter, Jarrod and I actually connected on 3 touchdowns, I believe, to end the half. And then from there we just kept going, and then to start the half we scored another touchdown throwing the ball to Brandon Rogers.
Is it going to be another big passing game this week against Crookston?
With preparation, with timing, I'm working with the receivers after practice now also, so that we can just build a little bit more chemistry going forward. So hopefully, yes, looking forward to more touchdowns, more passing yards, all that good stuff.
So there you have it, Peacock fans. That's all we have with Dimitri, but stay right there. We have Jarrod Edmonds coming right up. Welcome back again, Peacock fans. Sitting with me now is starting wide receiver Jarrod Edmonds off the football team. Jarrod, nice to have you.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so 3 touchdown receptions and over 100 yards receiving on Saturday. Why don't you kind of tell us about the game?
Coach always was harping on us. We need to have our best game yet, and kind of preaches that to us every week. So kind of the mentality we were having going in as receivers to have our best game yet.
Dimitri talked about that you had a one-on-one out there on the island on Saturday, and you guys hooked up a couple of times. What was it like knowing that you were going to be the go-to receiver?
like earlier in the week we were talking. I mean, they like to press backside a lot, and coaches were telling us we're going to take a shot this week, and hopefully we can beat the man and make the catches. So.
At the end of the second half, there was a moment where Dimitri had rolled out of the pocket and he found you in the back corner of the end zone. At what point did you know he was going to throw you the ball?
I mean, at first when I saw him, I didn't think he was. I thought he was across the line of scrimmage. So I was kind of like, oh, I was going to scramble and block for him, and saw him turn around and kind of run to my side, and came across my mind that I should probably get open, and saw him. He was kind of eyeing me down, and once I saw him throw the ball, I knew I had to go get it and made a play and got in the end zone.
And there you have it, Peacock fans. Come out this weekend and watch your Peacock football team take on University of Minnesota Christian. The game starts at 6 p.m. at Hans Eichstadt Stadium. We're looking forward to seeing all of you there. Until next time, I'm Jim Maury. Thanks for watching.